Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing all right. Okay, we're getting right into it. We're going to be looking at some Nautilus.
Huh?
Let's see.
Yeah, it's Trout's game, so yeah, I didn't really have good solo keyboards, or I didn't think they were good, so yeah, they were good. So
Okay.
I chose
Nautilus Callista versus uh,
Namelution.
Nami Lucian. Oh, jeez. Right. So if it goes right, it goes right. You know, one of the counters to Nami Lucian too is just Lulu. You slam that with most
Yeah, Lula
ADs.
Ferris, right?
Lulu Aphelios, Lulu Varus can do okay.
Okay,
There's generally champs like that.
but like, why is Lula so good into it? Is that he can dash in, or
Well,
like,
she negates like their immediate poke, makes Lucian have to run cleanse in a way,
uh-huh.
and then transitions into the mid game just fine. Doesn't have like a slower period like the other enchanters have. So if you were to pick like
Oh, I see.
Janna, Seraphine into Lucian Nami, like it's just not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like Lucianame or are you a hater?
I like it. I like when good players play it.
Yeah.
Don't we all? So we get the ward down. And then do you have any thoughts on this game?
We wanted to L1 invade or like late invade, cause yeah, just we know that we are stronger with Kalista, Nautilus, and Vego.
Okay. Who's their jungler?
Uh, Zubac, I think you won't know him,
Oh, the
but he.
champion.
Oh yeah, Vego
Okay.
or Anime.
Yeah, enemy.
Oh, Anime is great.
Okay.
No, Trund actually.
Trundle. Okay. Nice. So Trundle and Ornn to like a Gwen, even if they vertical, like they can't dive the Gwen.
Yeah, that was like our initial thought. That is just good every time for us, cause if they are there, we just kill them. If they are not there, we can split them up and
This
what can
Lucian sucks. Okay, watch the Lucian. Hold on. Brother. He spins the W on the wave, and then there's no Nami E. And it's like, okay, you guys lose. You lose the lane now.
yeah.
And then the Q on the wave. Awesome. They're trying to crash, but it's like, okay. If you're going to get ganked, it's no problem. Ay, ay, ay. And then Trundle shows mid. God bless.
And now they can't walk upright.
Exactly. And now it's like they're zoned forever. Like, good push. They got the safety, but it's like Lucian Nami can't have safety. You have to play it wildly. EU West. EU West has this particular like two defensive thing that I there it is. There it is with Lucian Nami. They have to attack.
Yeah.
At least we avoided the Viego gank. You're not scaling, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's good on your part. There's not much to really like done this one a million times on Nautilus, so we're in the bush and then it's all good.
Yeah.
So that's all good. And then we reset and then you choose to reset mid. Rise to Syndra, I think this is okay. Lucian Nami,
Yeah.
especially where they were safer, like it's way less likely that they're gonna attack the Callistas easily. Rise makes it obvious.
I think now here I wait for his EW, but he
Nah,
was a bit too slow.
yeah,
Do you think I just would
right
straight
there.
away?
Oh, right there, he had it when Cinder clicked back, you know. But he
Yeah.
Rise kept going this way, so at that point, if you're the guy, like you would immediately hook, but giving it some time is okay. Like she's gonna flash regardless, given how she is moving.
Yeah.
But we got the flash, and Callista only takes like one Nami W. Let's go.
Yes, and we are back for the crash, so Costa is chilling, right?
Yep.
I mean, with this game, why I chose it is we throw the game. I mean, you will see that we had uh gotten a big lead, but somehow we managed to throw, and I don't know, like
Yeah, I
why that
guess.
happened and what to do to avoid it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Unless you wanted to like skip to that part.
Oh, no, no, no.
Okay. See now where you move into the bush right when Viego's there instead of like when he isn't, it makes it kind of obvious. Because playing back to here, I'm thinking it's like you're playing around Trundle, but were you?
Yeah, we actually were. We are playing for the 3v3 here.
Okay. So with Flash, I think you could still like try to move up to the bush a bit earlier.
Yeah,
Because even if Trundle is here, Pillar's there, like a flash over or like moving around half your HP depends on like how they play it, but they'll give you some info before they go in, or like just blatantly Trundle Pillar. So I think that's worth
yeah.
a chance if you wanted to. Because whenever you
Mm-hmm.
move up to the bush, when Viego is going into Tri-Brush, it makes things obvious, you know? So if you wanted to
Yeah,
be trickier, that'd be a way to do it.
yeah.
It
Actually,
presents risk, but like I think it's fine. Because like your flash being down, Callista hits level 6, no problem. And then if they use that shit, Viego has an in.
yeah. I think if I just woke up a bit more, then I can see if they contest the woke up, then
Yeah,
Trundle is there. If they don't, then I can just walk to the bush, right?
yeah. Well, it's not about getting to this other bush, it's just seeing what they do. And then kind of not telling them what Viego wants to do. Okay. And then this is a bit much. You guys aren't diving, they're full HP.
Mm, do you think even with Rice move we can dive?
Well, Rise didn't move. So you're pushing one, and then as we be pushing this one, Rise is finishing off his wave, so like he can't be here in time. It doesn't look like.
Yeah,
Rise like he's moving about as soon as he can. It's just not the right time. Viego's not level 6, like because what Viego did was he did golems and then skipped his blue side for like this opportunity. Let
yeah,
me go further back. What was before this? Right. So he skipped the golems for this. And now what Viego has to do from here is golems, reset, and then into blue. But he sticks around, and that's why this seems so weird. So he sticks around for about a minute, and that sucks. So that's not a real dive timer, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted to, maybe Boots of Swiftness, it's not bad. Like, if you just want to move around the map, Nami E, Trundle E, Orn ult, like Syndra's shit, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely better than movies, right?
It's what?
It's definitely better than movies, no?
Yeah, yeah, way better than Mobius. The only champs that really like Mobies nowadays is like Renata, Rakan, like Thresh sometimes. The very slow champs, like very, very slow. But
Yeah.
Nautilus goes in too, so he needs maneuverability, which is simply enough movement speed to hook in, use his shit, and walk away, you know? But we know that.
It's
Uh,
kind of the same with All-Star, right? Like, you rather go 50s on
yes,
All-Star.
yes, yeah, exactly. Because he goes in. What is their bot? Oh, Rift Herald? Gotcha. Well, they
Yeah.
do have a fucking time for Rift Herald with what Viego did. I hope they take it. Watch Lucian walk back bot. There we go. Good. You would hope. Now, Nami shouldn't be there, but like, you would hope. Because like you guys can't win no matter what like you guys want to do against that Rift Herald with the Viego being level 5,
Yeah.
Syndra Ornn, and then even if Nami's not there and Nautilus is, like it barely matters. Trundle ults someone and goes goes wacko mode.
True.
Okay, but now we're back at it where jungler can perma fuck bot. Okay, and then you guys reset. Dragon is coming up. It's okay. Merc Tread's whack.
Don't don't you like Merc?
Like we could have Boots of Swiftness Ruby, and then like be building into the magic resist stuff later. It's just a bit early for it.
Okay. And what like from Magic Resist? Do you think that Locket is enough of Magic Resist here, or would you go like a real Magic Resist item?
Yeah, I mean, I think Locket's enough. A Locket, a
Okay.
single Ruby Crystal going into the mid game. Like you don't have Aftershock, but that's okay. With how this team comp plays out, you have Kallistar that saves you damage. And then all of our champions, like we're waiting for like a particular all in where we single out one target, right? So it's not
Yeah.
like you queuing into 5 people and then do you survive. It's like you wait for the right target and then you go in. And then if they're hitting you, then you're winning. Your team just wins. It doesn't matter if you die. Because it's not about like second rotations either with how these team comps will play out.
Yeah, makes sense.
I just noticed second win getting like no value because you guys won lane.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But you never know. You never know. I hate that shit on support. Okay, what's going on?
I mean, here I just went blindfolded in
Right.
after the
So you
first
guys
level.
zone trundle, start the dragon, pull them in, and then you win. Instead, it's like 2 to lane, and then one to mid, kinda, and then one in the river. You know, not a unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have to move as a unit, and then it's fucked. They have the opening. This is definitely warded, so they know that the Rise Viego didn't stay. Like, Rise and Viego have also sacked their farm for this, so it's like you guys needed to do dragon right then and there, or it's like on really bad times. Oh my god, you guys go back in. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, why'd you go back in?
And I turned my brain off and just listened to Kalista,
Ah,
but
it's
there was like no reason. Even if Vega is here, we just lose, I think.
yeah. The better Nautilus holds himself in the ult, looks at the situation, and then decides. But
True.
you were
I'm
just an
the
arrow being shot out there. Has no input.
yeah.
Okay, L. Back to back, they get the dragon. So they've got the Rift Herald, they got the dragon. Oh, maybe that's why this is so confusing, because it's not like particular plays that went wrong. It's like this slow, like, because everyone's a little bad at the macro, like, it's kind of invisible stuff. Like where you guys didn't
Maybe,
turn on the
yeah.
dragon.
When would you go after Shook? Is it only into like Leona lines, or is there a...
It would be. I like to go aftershock when I'm into like melee champs, like Nautilus versus Leona. You can't win if you don't like at all. If you don't
Yeah.
have aftershock, um, if you're gonna be the only one to go in, like, let's say I have, let's say I have Lucian top, Graves jungle, Syndra
Yeah.
mid, and Ashe. Like, I'm gonna have to eat some damage for the boys. Okay, if it works, it works. Do you know on this recall, like if you have the 400, upgrading the Kindle Gem just gives you 50 HP and then the 10 ability haste? Whereas you could buy like null magic right here, or you could buy cloth armor, control ward.
Yeah. And the magic resist gives more than THP, right? And
Yeah, way
the-
more. Those resistance are always going to be giving you more than the 50 HP.
yeah.
And with Nautilus, he doesn't utilize the ability haste.
Wait, so the proper way to build the like Locket or even Shroud would be Rube into all the resistances into finishing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like on the enchanters, it's kind of similar, like where they have the Kindle Gem and then the Bandle Glass Mirror. It's
Yeah.
like if you ever upgrade the Bandle Glass Mirror, it's just for the ability haste. It doesn't give you any extra stats that the Amp Tome and then Fairy Charm doesn't. But if you upgrade the Kindle Gem, then it gives you 50 HP and the 10 ability haste. So it's like you upgrade the Kindle Gem on those champions. It's like you just
Yeah.
get stats when you can.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
But God, I've been on that for so long, but like pros still like every single support pro I see, it's Kindle Gem on the recall. On every champion, it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
The
The item is just so sexy, you know.
like ruby cloth armor, no, no, God,
But like Ruby overall is good, right? But
yeah,
just finishing Kindle Gem is kind of useless because like 10 ability haste doesn't change much and 50 HP doesn't change anything as well.
yeah. It doesn't change much, especially if you don't have lucidity boots early. Like Thresh can use it because he's not using the resistances sometimes, like lucidity Kindle Gem.
Yeah.
Enchanters can use it, but not Nautilus. Okay, not bad. Again, like be patient with this. But if you don't have experience with Callista, this is how it looks with the
Yeah.
ultis at least.
Yeah.
So whenever you
True.
go in, like let it be slow. Don't be fast with it. If you're a noob, be a noob with it. Give it some time, or you'll never learn it.
Okay.
To even flash in here sucks because they can pillar. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is not the fight we want. I mean, God, it's going okay, but all right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I
what do
mean,
you see that would tell you this fight would suck?
Gwen is resetting. We are just 3-4. We don't have Callisto ulti.
Yeah, we don't have ult. Gwen resetting. Ryze is
Yeah.
dead. And then given the matchup, right, Callista like doesn't have the items to deal with the tanks like fast enough yet. So when they're in
Mm-hmm.
front, she can't hit the back line. And
Yeah.
since that's how it all starts out, it's fucked. So you need to hold right here. Just hold your cards. Don't slam them. Right there.
Yeah.
Hextech flash in. I'm slamming. I'm going face. That's the price you pay.
True.
They're gonna wipe your board now. Okay. I'm about to say, where the fuck is Syndra, man? How the fuck are you guys hitting mid? Into the mid game, you could start looking at the side lanes a little bit more because what you do mid is a little bit harder. Callisto doesn't have ulti. If you and Viego look to sit on the side lane that you think that they'll attack, it's much more productive because
Yeah.
you have to ask yourself, like, can they attack Callista? And it's up to Callista, in my opinion, to kind of die here unless she's pushed in because Syndra, Trundle, Nami, like, can't just force a fight onto her.
Uh-huh.
So I think that gives you and Viego time to. Viego could farm to one side, and then you sweep the area, and then if anyone's in that side lane, easy. Versus the rotation in which you and Viego are like sitting in the mid bush, and then it requires the enemy to be extra stupid, which EUS players are extra safe, to move past, like, say, this line. That's about the only way they die. So
Yeah.
yeah, try to find a side lane. And with trying to attack the side lanes too, you get the outer turrets, and then that gives everyone gold. You just kind of get the ball rolling from there.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you something to do. But where you guys played to attack bot lane early, I think that's like where uh, basically both supports, the Viego and Nautilus, need to transition into the mid game. It's like you can give up attacking for the Callista here and let the Callista farm. Because even though Callista's strong, she now has to chew through this.
Yeah.
So it's like let her farm mid lane, and then if we attack the side lanes, we ramp up the Ryze and Gwen, and then they help deal with the tanks as well. Because everyone's hitting front line. And then if we're attacking the side lane, maybe we hurt the Syndra or hurt the Ornn. or maybe even hurt the Lucian if he's going to be the one showing up there. So it's like you slow down their carries as well, amp yours up, and then make it where on this turn of the map, the Callista that isn't weaker than the enemy but isn't like at maximum efficiency doesn't have to spend herself.
Yeah.
So then she's powering up for like say the next minute until the next dragon. And then if you have Rage Blade there, like awesome. If not, okay. But it like makes everything better. Everything. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Why do you think it's caused that US players are just that safe? Or what causes it?
What does cause it? Like, you're from there. Like, it's just my
Yeah.
observation from watching it. Multiple, like, dude, multiple games, multiple years. Like, what does cause it?
Yeah, I don't know. Cause yeah, I mean for me it's normal, For me, like Chinese players are just crazy. But
So that's the advantage that the EUS players have over, like, say, the NA players at the beginning is that they like have that. It seems like a higher level of fundamental skill, but it's really like they play safe and then they give the enemy space, and then the enemy doesn't know what to do because they're not practiced. That's where
yeah,
it like gets value for them. Like I was just watching Yamato's death on Kiana, and he's rushing Hex Drinker into Syndra. The enemy mid jungle is Syndra Lilia, and he rushes Hex Drinker. So instead of Lilia farming down and ganking a side lane, and then Syndra pushing the wave and leaving, they attack her because
yeah,
like she's just standing there, doing nothing, and then they lose. So it's like where the West has worse attacks, this overly defensive style gives the enemy space to move forward, which usually you have to earn that space if things are even and both players can posture in the neutral position,
yeah,
basically like spar properly. They give up that space and the enemy moves into it, and they're not used to being in that spot where now they have to attack the enemy. And if the attack isn't successful, then the EUS player that's playing very defensive wins, and they rinse and repeat that bad boy until like the end of time.
yeah,
Like one of the players I've watched a lot of too is like Nemesis, on Vigar, man, in Korea. It's not saying
yeah.
he's bad. It's just like that's how it goes. Like that's where they end up.
He's just chilling, right?
Yep, chilling back, scale up, do nothing, arrive. But when the enemy's better, like harder to do that, but the enemy won't be better, and so works out
Yeah,
more. Shout out to Corky, shout out to Azir, shout out to Vigar.
yeah,
And then EUS players can be perceived as more aggressive in some matchups because the enemy does that sort of thing. So like EUS to Nivea can attack a whole lot more because the enemy is like too far back. Things like that.
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
okay.
What do you think about the new yellow item? I don't know what it's
Radiant
called, but
Virtue.
yeah, something like that.
Um,
I know like RGG goes it on chimps like Rel Rakan.
yeah, I'm not sure because it gives you HP
Yeah,
and then it heals your allies, and then it has similar stats, but I think it's more expensive. I don't remember.
yeah, it costs like 3k, something like that. So yeah, it is like 500 gold on support is kind of hard to get, right?
Yeah, like really hard. Me and my friend were talking about it too, where it's kind of like a locket against DPS, since it is kind of like Moonstone, where it heals over time, whereas
Yeah,
locket is blocking the burst. So, but to find where a champion could run that, I don't know. Maybe you could run it on Janna. I don't know.
yeah. So it's like tank Moonstone maybe in a way.
Yeah.
So
But then the
in
champions that
this,
would utilize that best would be like the pseudo champions where they're half and half. So literally Rakan, like half enchanter, half engage.
yeah,
Or the non traditional support, so like Nautilus, Gragas, where they get those free stats. They would utilize it way better than Alistar, like fucking way better.
Mm-hmm. Do you like Gragas support or
No.
what's your opinion?
Not recently. I love him, but not recently. Bad
Yeah,
Boy
he's
hasn't
just
been
so fun to play,
playable.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I lock him in now, I'm just running Arcane Comet and hoping for the best. Like I
Yeah.
rush Imperial Mandate and shit. It's not good, but that's the only way to win. It can be fine if
Sometimes.
you build him tank like and play him well, but he's just lower tier generally. I love him though.
I mean, to me, it feels like in states where Gragas would be good, you can just pick Tarek and he's way better, right?
God, I don't know. Gragas is a weird one. The ulti makes things weird, but ADCs benefit way more from like getting free stats now than they do from like you damaging the enemy and surviving.
Yeah.
That's when Gragas was strongest. Same shit. Like attack a side lane, man. This isn't an ARAM time. The Syndra, no turret. Like you and Viego should just run at her. Because if we're trying to attack the Lucian Nami, like Nami has Peel, Lucian has Dash, Trundle has Pillar, you're moving onto their ground here. Oh shit. If it works, but
Yeah. Can you imagine we threw this one? Big Sage. Oh, actually, I wanted to ask, what would you go second here? Do I
uh
just go Anathemas and put it on Lucian or Syndra? Or what's
Anathemas,
or what do you like?
Ninth Vow, Redemption, Anathemas, Mikhail's, I think Redemption would be okay. Because they deal some damage. You guys have short range champions, so whenever the fight starts, you're going to be pretty much in the same spots.
Yeah.
So I think Redemption. Don't need the extra tankiness. Don't need the extra CC. Because like with the Anathemas on one of the carries, right? It's to enhance. Does it even enhance the hook? I want to say it would just be the passive since it's just CC. I don't know if the hook's like knock up or whatever.
Yeah, it does. It only helps the passive.
Right. And then there's the only other CC is Viego W and Rice W. It's just not enough.
Yeah.
Same deal. You guys need to not attack the side or not attack the mid lane like this.
And just move side lane.
Boom, boom, boom. You guys move back. You do do the better EU where it's like you move back, you do the dragon, they move up the map, you move through the fog of war, and then flank them mid lane. That's how you have a good attack.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they like all show mid, go take bot turret. Something. Because here it's like you attack like what's given, and then it's just a bait at the end of the day. And they know that. They know like where the Rise is, they know where the Gwyn is. So of course this is like about the only spot for them to be.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Callisto went Hurricane too. Not good. Not good.
Do you think Whitsand is the best here, or
Well, I
what would
think
you
like
go?
wits like quickly into the next item, like BTIE something. We need something. Okay, here we go. Nice, a flank. You love to see it. You love to see it. Works
Yeah.
out. Hell yeah.
Thanks, Arupi.
What the hell?
I mean, I raised channel ult and I was just CC'd in it, so I traveled.
And you guys lose? What the fuck?
Yeah, here the throw happens.
Hit, 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 hit. Okay, now back off, damn it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a take a turret and to kill Nami into win angle with them all respawning. So that one's hard. You're bad.
Yeah, big bet. Because Syndra gets 2 shutdowns though.
Right. So how would you see it coming?
I just look at their spawn timers and see that
Exactly. But like,
Lucian and Syndra are soon.
I think it's mostly respecting the death timer, watching it, and then actually carrying, backing up. Right. So that delays the game by like 3 minutes at least.
Yeah. And here, to be honest, I think we should just wait for Gwen push, right?
You should what?
Wait for Gwen push.
Yeah, wait for Gwyn push, and I think just have one person mid. If Rise has Zonias, like preferably just Rise, and then Viego, Nautilus, and Callista can exist in the fog here. Because you guys have a
Okay.
lot of time to play with if no one's going to go top like that. Because you guys could like 1-3-1, because they have one Nexus turret, send Rise top,
Mm-hmm.
and try to play it out like that, but... Right, so it's like, what the fuck is the goal of Viego, Rise, and Callista all being mid other than to immediately fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just not good. Everyone's giving up farm, giving up other stuff, like other map opportunities for it. Holy shit, then the fight can't be won. So if I'm Nautilus here, what am I doing?
Maybe I should play slow, right? And just peel Kalista.
Yeah, the Ornal comes in. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I hook. I would not ult. I can't believe the hook hit Orn. That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was good timer for the hook to hook Lucian, but unfortunately it went for.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
There's just truly nothing to do. But that's the EUS right here. It's like, this is like actually the enemy's ground, but you guys have moved past it and don't realize it. You know?
And how can I realize it, actually?
Well, it's just like that's where it should be. How do you realize? If Gwen's here and Viego's there, Syndra can be here, no problem. But Syndra's fucking back here. Like all the way back here. So it's like if she can be here, like here would be our max range, effectively.
Yeah.
And then they have an Ornn ulti, which extends things by quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're all fucked, so we shouldn't woke up, right?
Fuck. Bang. And then right here and then right here has to move in position to the fight. So if they're moving in, that's distance spent and then time spent. So that's damage for the enemy as well. Whereas the
Yeah.
enemy is already in the fight. And then since it's distance spent moving in, then you have less time to move away. Therefore, the enemy again gets like more damage because of the distance. So they have like a 2 times multiplier in a way on the distance. Like the distance for the damage. The D for the D.
Yeah.
So we're screwed. Can't win. Good. Next fight. Game's delayed by 7 minutes off the hook the Nami into the ARAM. Rises bot. Have we... Fuck, we've seen this one before.
Yeah.
Oh my god, then they just attack the Baron, huh? They don't? Brother, EU West. Guys, you have to
Would
attack
any
the
attack?
Baron. Everyone would attack. Every region has to attack here. It's 22-14. You guys get the Baron, you push, you win. Brother.
Think Rai not ulting
Oh,
fast or like at the inhib. It's big int. Because now we can't really contest the rig, right? Or can we?
can you? Syndra shows top.
Or maybe we can.
Yeah, because they have to move. Again, like this is the downside of the 2 defensive. Now they have to walk all the way from their base all the way to that dragon, and that takes too much time.
Yep.
Let's say like Eastern, Lucian, Nami, Trundle, Ornn. Like they'll just be right here, you know. be
Ooh.
further up. And then if they're right there, it's easier for them to get to the dragon. Like you can do a back and forth right there. That spends time, and then there's no dragon. You guys can't start it, you know? Since they have
Yeah.
to walk up and then they're not going immediately, like, then they don't have it. God. Okay, okay. So, how do you win the game from here?
I think we still have stronger sides. So I guess we just play for sideline push with Baron now. That we
Yeah,
just shove mid and move with Viego towards Rice, I guess. Rice is better to move into.
I'd agree. That's how I'd do it. Gwen can hold her own. Gwen can hold her own against the entire enemy team. God bless.
Through broken champ.
Okay, and then for fuck's sake, don't move on their ground. Don't move. Don't go past that line. Oh, jeez. I mean, that's good by them to immediately attack you guys. Right,
Yeah,
so
but
whenever you push the wave, let the wave go, and then check for you. So it's like, push the wave moves up to like here, and then you stay like right here, and then
Mhm.
wait. See if the enemy is there or not.
Okay.
But you just move up freely, and you don't have the checks for that.
Yeah.
Where's the enemy team? Fuck, they could all be right here in the fog of war. You wouldn't know. We know that Ornn was bot, so it's like he's missing here, but everything else. Trundle Pillar into Nami ult into Cinder QE into Lucian just dashed Gale Force auto dash with Navori type of shit. Basically,
Yeah.
basically what
Makes sense.
happened. So they attack as they should, and then the game is delayed like 12 minutes, and that's just in the enemy's interest because Rise has been. Let's go back to like where Nami happened. So we're at 32. This was a fucking while ago. We're at 32. Nami incident happened at like 25, so that's like 7
Minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Where Rise is level 17 and Gwen's level 16. And then to 32, level 17, level 18, like one level in 7 minutes versus like what the enemy's getting.
Mhm.
And if the enemy's getting levels, it's going to be on the ADC. So that like makes it harder for Rise and then Gwen because the ADC gets levels, he gets tankier and also deals more damage, but it's mainly like he gets tankier and then isn't just killed by them showing up, the Rise Gwen showing up on his screen.
Yeah.
So that's really bad for you. Same with Syndra too, but it's more so like with the ADC at this stage of the game. Like 28 to 32, if the ADC survives, that's about when they even out in levels with the carries. Jesus Christ, Syndra's build, you guys are screwed. And then Nautilus too, like you have been descaling since like
Yeah.
22 minutes. Okay. And then the Gwen flank. Where you have stopwatch, you're playing this too safe. Gwen's flanking, like, get in there. Like, try to move up. If the Trundle hits you, like, it's better position. Rising close to can start hitting. But you're playing way too far back here.
Yep.
And then you have to move
Because like
back
my
in.
job.
It's fucked.
Yeah. My job here is to buy time, right? Nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not that's all you can do. All you can do is, like, CC them and get hit. But you don't get hit, so nothing happens. And if nothing happens, you're losing. So we got to make something happen. It doesn't matter if it goes bad or it goes well. Like you have to you have to not attack, but you have to play your cards here. See what happens. Worst case scenario, right? So like, well, actually, best case scenario. You stand your ground right here. They keep moving forward. Trundle moves forward. The entire enemy team keeps moving forward. We walk up to Trundle and then we auto him. We don't have to spin the hook. And then Trundle
Mhm.
like auto Q ults us. best case scenario. The Syndra, Lucian, Nami like move to attack us, and then they spend abilities, and we stopwatch. And then same shit that happened to us where we had to spend distance moving in, and then we're fucked. It would be the same case for them. They've moved in, and then they spent distance, and then that gives Ryze and Callista an opportunity to attack.
Yeah,
And then
makes
during all
sense.
this time, Gwen's coming. God bless.
And
Because
I wait with my ult, right?
yeah,
I shouldn't use my ult there.
we're
Yeah.
waiting to ult the Lucian probably because Syndra has Zonias. Well, fuck, Syndra's not even there. It's 4v4. It's our only chance, brother.
True.
Oh my god. So then Gwen's like, fuck, I don't have a flank. Nothing happens. Fuck. Now it's Christ. Now no ults. 4v5 Baron's coming up. We're fucked. Losing. So it's like we had to spend our hand right there. Had to. But then didn't. So it's like now you lose the next like fuck, I don't know, 6 minutes. Because you don't spend your hand there. So it's like you guarantee you lose. But if you played it out, maybe you have a chance. Those are L's that you're going to have to take. As support players, especially the EUS ones, they're too scared to make those plays because it looks bad on you. Do that 100 times, you'll look like the best support like in the region easily. Because you'll be the guy that actually is willing to fucking get stuff done even when it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing.
Oh shit. Yeah, because you guys are just screwed. There's nothing to do. They get Baron, they push down. Right. First blunder, like the Nami hook into double ARAM instead of side. And then third, like the last one where it's like, which is honestly the most complicated because like you're at the end game, but it's like half to spend a bad hand. Like in poker, you drew bullshit. You don't have nothing good, but you have
Yeah.
to drop them. You can't hold. Like you hold the
Yeah.
hand, you guarantee you lose. But it's like fuck. This is my last $200 at the casino. Who cares if I go homeless? Like I'm screwed. I could win 20,000 here. Bam,
Yeah.
slam them. Oh shit. As Nautilus too, dude, if you have the confidence or like experience doing that, you just don't care anymore. You know like where you're at in terms of like the game. At least that's my experience playing them. Like I'm so willing to be that guy that fucking just straight up walks and dies at the right time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, can I learn this by watching also? I can, right?
Um
Or is it just by like playing over and over and over again?
you get the
Not-
understanding by doing it. That's for sure. Cuz like in my experience, I have to battle emotions when I'm doing it. That's the hardest part. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not complicated what's happening on screen. It's like the pressures of the situation, the pressures of the future, and then the pressure of the allies. Even if like all the pings are off, it's like I know the judgment that comes from like that sort of
Yeah.
shit.
So
So
so true, so true.
right, I think it's like doing it to get past that rather than knowing how it's done. You know,
Yeah.
easier said than done.
True.
God, like when Shin was a meta support, my like I would E flash nothing and fuck it up.
Yeah.
I play Bard more than anyone, and you just whiff ultis like daily.
Yeah.
God bless.
That's why I play Bard with Mutal. Cause yeah.
Yep.
Now it's now you know when the bait ping is in. In the US it's a bit more rude.
Yep.
Who do you think are good Nautilus players actually? Like to
Um.
watch?
Well, the only
Okay.
support player really is Carrier.
Like, do
You
you
watched
think
him,
Keria is
right?
by far the best?
Do what?
Do you think Keria is by far the best, or like what
Easily.
support which would you recommend watching?
I would recommend Carrier as like the number one. He's like by far and away like the best at what he does. Um, some good support players are some of the Chinese pros. I don't watch them like in solo queue, but whenever they play at Worlds, like you can tell they always have like what would you say broader
Something.
understanding.
Yeah.
They can pick things that aren't meta and easily play them. So like when weird stuff like fiddlestick support back in the day. I mean, you can even play that right now. Like just stuff like that where they're like, it's a weird champion. If they were to lock in set support, they're going to do better than the Western set support by far. If they
Yeah.
lock in Swain support, it's the same deal. It's like they've run the gambit of knowing the limits of the champion one way or another, and then they know how to play it from the limits. So like where
Uh huh.
Swain's support kind of sucks dick, they're gonna know that if they're into Leona, they can throw an E at the ADC, and then even if it lands, they can't like press for extra damage because Leona goes in and shits on them. So they'll
Yeah.
throw the E and then back up, shit like that, like back and forth, like they play within the limits. But
Yeah, I see what you mean. So you think like watching Eastern supers is better than watching US?
yeah, I can't think
Okay.
of any time I've watched the Western support where I was like, wow, look at that. Like who's a
Not
good
not even like the
bro?
best.
Who's a good? Well, there's Core JJ. He's very good at peeling his allies. He engages and then peels very well. So he has
Yeah.
that, but is also Korean. Awesome. Um, I've
In the US, it's like Mickey X. What do you think about him? Do you think like
never really watched him too much. Um,
okay?
I think Mickey has some right things though. A few times I have seen him. That was on like Gragas like 2 years ago. Um,
Yeah, he's an OG Gragas player.
I mean, nothing's coming to mind, man. I got
Yeah.
nothing for
Maybe
Western
like
supports.
Lehans comes to my mind.
Yeah,
He's Eastern, but
yeah.
like
He's
yeah,
also
okay,
he does things differently. He doesn't play like fundamentally well. So like Barrel is somehow fundamentally better than him. Fuck, I literally just had another support in my head. Ignar is like fundamentally better than Lehans.
oh yeah, he's Korean too as well. I mean Korean too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Little trend there.
yeah. And do you think they're better just by like playing the game so much that they know every aspect?
Well, it's like
Or
holistic. They get to watch players that are better, they get to play in better solo queue, and then they can emulate it and practice it in a better environment. So like a
okay,
triple whammy on top of it. I think what's important for Eastern players is to simply do what they can, the best that they can, and not try to emulate every single aspect. You can look at good things they do and then try to apply it. If it can't be applied one way or another, I don't know, probably just don't hold on to it. But the things that you can keep, like that actually work within the confines of the region,
uh-huh.
yeah, if it works, it works. And then if it doesn't, like no reason to keep it going.
Yeah.
Let me try to find a recent stream. I bet there just isn't one since it's
I think they
preseason.
moved to like Weibo or something because T1 had uh, a contract with Twitch, but I think it ran out, and now they are streaming on something else. It's either Billy or something like that.
Yeah, with those, the Chinese ones always get like ported to these
Yeah.
YouTube channels somehow. But yeah, like by far, Carrie is like one of the only players to watch for support.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's always like basic things that they do well. That's what I notice.
Do you agree with like people saying that they itemize bad, or
Well, it
would you
depends.
disagree?
People like it can be the build can be mathematically bad, it can be technically bad, it can be literally bad, but the way that the Eastern players play is like in sequence of how the game plays out and in contesting every single not every single turn, but contesting most turns where there can be an attack. Whereas in the West, you don't have to deal with attacks. You don't have to defend anything. The enemy's not doing anything. Right.
Yeah.
So you can pick scaling everything and there's no downside. Like generally, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Right. So if the enemy's going to attack every single time and do it well, like you need to have as much as you can for that battle. And that's kind of what they do. So then that's how they can end up with shitty builds. That shitty builds that look shitty going into the mid game, like, but it's like that's not what they built for. They built for like this
For
specific turn.
killing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you think even Shroud or Shurelias has value if they play according to like what they build?
Yeah,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
yeah, and you can get a read on the player you're playing with too. Like if I'm playing Lulu, you can build Moonstone, Imperial Mandate, or Shroud, or Shurelias, not Shroud, Christ. And then, if they're the guy and I know it, they're moving forward for the autos and then moving back in, like I can give them Shurelias. If they haven't autoed the enemy fucking once, maybe it's a
Yeah.
Moonstone game. Shit like that.
True, true. Okay. And yeah. So I have seen you talk about it, but so like the best way to improve long term is just to like play aggro and learn from mistakes rather than playing safe and like just playing, right?
Yeah. You have to play aggressive up until a point that you know the limit.
Yeah. But it has to have like a meaning to play aggressive, right? It's not like I will jump into
Sometimes.
five people.
The way I approached it was like a total dumbass.
Yeah,
Like,
go ahead.
whenever I first started playing the game, I was playing Renekton top, and I attacked on every single time that I could, moving past the entire wave to get one auto, and then I'm tanking the entire minion wave. Okay, that sucks. I won't be doing that again. So
Yeah.
instead, I E into the wave, and then auto W, auto Q, E away, much better.
Uh-huh.
And then on Bard support, well, I played Karma support, my first climb to Challenger, and then what I would do is like, again, like I do it as aggressive as I can until they give me a reason not to. So like, I move past the wave, look for a mantra Q. You do that a couple times, it works out. You do it against Thresh, it doesn't work out?
Yeah, and you learn that it doesn't work against Thresh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Versus like locking in Janna and fucking shielding the ally and standing still.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
It's the easiest to climb it, but I think I won't improve that much if I play Janna.
Right. And it's like there is a lot of time to play throughout the season. So it's like you play like that for 6 months, you get good if you do it right, and then you coast the other 6 months because you're the guy. Nobody can fucking touch you because you deal more damage and take less damage because you've run the limits and you know what's possible.
Yeah.
You know the tank man, right?
Tank Man? Is
Uh,
it like a player or?
yeah, it's this NA Challenger player who's played Sona for like fucking I don't know 20 years now, and
Oh
he
no.
simply runs that gambit of fucking standing still, and always
Yeah,
has, always will.
we have that one in the US as well. His name is Qnox, and yeah, he's like he peaked 500 LP, 1500 LP,
God.
and uh, and I'm like, what? His most played is Jenna, then it's Sona, and then it's Zaira,
uh,
and I'm just like watching him being 2K levels, playing 200 games a day,
God.
and chilling in Challenger because he plays Jenna Sona and just chills.
And for what, life's
Yeah,
temporary. You die one day, so I think,
true.
yeah, I think
Just
give
be
it all you
alpha.
got while you can.
Yeah.
You can play Jonah like that when you're a grandpa, like
True, true actually. Like,
uh,
yeah, playing
retire to
Jedi.
my Jana gameplay.
Yeah, now I'm Zoomer. I should play aggro, right?
Uh, yep, give it all you got.
Do you like Pike? Like as the aggro support, or
Pike's control. He's not actually aggressive.
in what way do you think he's okay? Control or blue in a way?
Have you ever played Hearthstone?
Yes.
He's more like Rogue, where Rogue has to play like they only have so many cards to play, and then they can take out single units. So
Yeah.
you hook a Leona. It's like spending a 3 damage card on a fucking 4/4 minion. You didn't kill the minion, and you're screwed because you spent a card on it. Like you might have spent two,
Hmm.
might have spent your preparation and another card, and it's like what the fuck.
Yeah.
And it makes it where if the enemy plays weaker units, you can easily take them out. So with Pike, like into the enchanters, right? He warps how the fuck the whole matchup goes because he can permanently W forward into the lane and then try to hook the enchanter,
Hmm.
or in a mobile champion. So it's like
Yeah.
that's where his control comes from. Whereas Alistar is just straight aggression. He just goes in. There's not much to it. He has stats to back him up and he goes in. But Pike goes in and out or threatens and manipulates.
Yeah, so you would say Pike is like blue red or
No,
in
I would say he's
colors?
like blue, maybe black. It's hard to
Blue.
put black on supports, I've noticed.
Yeah, because
Uh,
they don't really have conditions, right?
yeah, but they like augment their allies, so which I just haven't played Magic the Gathering. So, but I've studied the colors, but like whenever
Yeah.
Renata came out, I was like, "Fuck, is she
Yeah.
red black? Like, or is she just red? Like, is she green? Like, I don't know. I was freaking out.
Yeah. I'm like same in this way. I just learn the colors and it kind of makes sense when you like think about the colors. And yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
like
one,
champions like Renata are really hard to
I think
judge.
I'd have to ask like LS or something, but I think Renata would be like white black, but I'm not sure because she's definitely not red.
I
It,
think white is good color for her, yeah.
yeah, but that's just weird, you know.
I
It's like a
actually
shadow priest or something. I don't know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird.
Uh actually when coming back to Hearthstone now, what deck would you recommend?
Uh,
Because I was
whatever
off the
you,
meta like 2 years.
yeah, whichever class you have experience with, just play one of the two meta decks that's in it. Like it's not. I don't think one teaches you more than the other, or I have no fucking understanding because I'm just learning one. Like I'm not
What
that good. I'm just
which one
playing
are you good for?
Druid.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing Ramp Druid, but now I'm playing Aggro Druid to climb. So then I can play Ramp Druid at like basically like what would be Master Tier in League.
Yeah, a legend, right?
Yeah, because I'm like, when I only play Ramp Druid, I'm like hard stuck like D3, D1. So it's like, okay, I need to like buff my win rate so I can just practice this
Yeah,
control shit at a higher level.
yeah. I mean, it's easier to practice control at the higher level, no? Like in general.
Easily,
Even,
because you're not running into
even
these aggro decks that kill you turn 4. Like,
yeah.
bruh.
Does things like Murloc Priest still exist, or
Murloc Priest?
yeah?
Oh, there's some shit way stronger than
No,
that
no,
now.
no, no. Paladin. It was Murloc Paladin. Sorry, not Priest.
Um, no. But there is like Murloc Shaman now. There's Imp. There's
Oh,
Warlock Murloc that sucks. But there's like this priest deck that like plays a bunch of fucking cards in one turn, and then you get like two like 28/28s ish.
okay.
Yeah, shit like that. That have just make shit like Murlocs irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that can be enough for the session.
Alrighty.
For like, for like the session next week, I will just get the solo keyboard. So
Alrighty. Sounds good.
yeah, I will play some alpha champs and test
Yep.
some limits so I can improve in
Yep.
that way.
If you have a bunch of
So,
VODs too where you strictly fuck it up, like that can be useful. Just go through like literally the first like 8 minutes, you know?
okay.
Even just to
So
look at
like
it again, like see the pain.
okay. So yeah, so I can
Yeah.
have like 4 votes where we just go over the EUW game maybe.
Yeah, so it's like you could upload the full VODs to YouTube so I can go through them, but then like the shorter ones you could just share your screen too. We could do it like that.
Okay. Yeah. And uh when is the best time for you next week?
I don't know. Just message me a time. We can work it out.
Okay. Then I will message you during the week
Alrighty.
if that's fine with you.
Yep, sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah, see you for now.
Alrighty. Good talking to you.
Yeah, same.
Peace.
Peace.
I like that guy. Very cool guy.